know how I'm gonna do this another day. But when you look into my eyes, it gives me strength, and I'll stay with you when the night gets too dark, and I'll stay with you when you can't lift your arms. I'll hold you up, I'll stay with you, 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 no matter what, in darkest nights, I'll always be by your side. No matter what, in darkest nights, I'll always be by your side. No matter what, in darkest nights, I'll always be by your side. By your side, and I'll stay with you when the night gets too dark, and I'll stay with you when you can't lift your arms. I'll hold you up, and I'll stay with you.
Hello, hello, hello. There it is. Oh, I'm like kind of hurting today over here on my rib side. I've had a pretty active day today. But okay, so let's get into it. Let's add the fair use disclaimer here. It says everything is in fair use and it's not going to in any way harm anybody else's video. Okay. All right, now we're going to add stop screen. And I'm going to go to the window. This is what I want. I do believe. Is it? Yes, it is. Okay. We're going to start off with Granny's watching.
Pretty much like there, here's the 100-day mark. We are no further than we were then, but they are actively looking. The leaks have subsided.
Now, this is Granny's watching channel, but that's Stephen Crabtree right there.
There's not as much leads coming in now. And I think that's pretty much the gist of it, right, guys? If I'm not wrong, I think that was it. It's pretty much saying.
Yeah, in the spirit of staying positive, I won't discuss my view of Nick. But, I don't need to,
Yeah.
But, it's almost like he comes out with these, I'm going to tell everybody what they're doing wrong, and then I'm going to deliver no information, but I want everybody to know that it's factual information. And it's like, well, it's easy to give factual information if you're given nothing.
See, that's the crazy.
Now, see, that's supposedly Tony Mathis speaking about Nick Barris. In my opinion, it sounds, now it could be Tony Mathis. I'm not so sure. But it sounds more like Stephen Fisher than it does Tony Mathis. You decide.
Part that,
Hey everyone, good morning, afternoon, night, if you're seeing this at nighttime. I wanted to address a few things that I hear is going on. One particular thing that is so stupidly small but yet annoying is that people are claiming that we are not in a lawsuit. But this is not a lawsuit. So I am here to tell you all that it is in fact a lawsuit. And a quick, if you're not a lawyer, if you don't know, whatever, fine. But a quick Google search will tell you as much. So you type in over here, is an injunction complaint a lawsuit? The answer is an injunction is not a lawsuit itself, but rather a specific type of court order requested within a lawsuit. Meaning a complaint, which initiates a lawsuit, would need to be filed to seek an injunction as a remedy. Therefore, an injunction and complaint together would be considered part of a lawsuit. Now I get it. If you didn't know that, you didn't know that. You could have Googled it the way I just
Okay,
did.
that
Some
doesn't
people
say a
prefer
RICO
to
Act
take
is a
initiative and
lawsuit.
just rather pretend they know everything because they cover true crime. Whatever. Not only that, but throughout the transcripts that we read, you will hear the judge often refer to this as a lawsuit and Lesniak respond as such. That is a lawsuit. So if that's not, enough to prove it, there's also plenty of filings by our attorneys that do as well call it a lawsuit. So one interesting filings, I keep hearing people say, oh, they defamed Seth Rogers, they called him a P word. And, as a look at our filing that addresses the quote unquote defamation. So here it is. This right here is a fantastic filing by one of Barbecue's attorneys. And within it, they address all the reasons why this statement they're claiming that was made, that some.
Okay. When I was doing my research and I was listening to her read over this, and then now that I'm actually hearing her say Barbecue's attorney, this is I'm thinking of the word, I'm thinking a response to the RICO filing. That's what I'm thinking, that this was a response. And as you read it, you'll see, and I think you'll agree with me that this is a response to the RICO.
Somebody somewhere calls Seth Rogers a pedophile is not defamatory. And not only that, but I never said it. So here it says, Ms. True submits this memorandum to emphasize that this single, acontextual, non-specific allegation of pedophilia is wholly insufficient to defeat the defendant's respective motions pursuant to the act, which is the anti-SLAPP. Goes down to say that they failed to comply with requirements of Pennsylvania Rule of Civil Procedure, which is a rule of civil procedure in a lawsuit, ironically. We go down here, it's going to say exactly what they claim, which ironically, again, the only allegation concerning the word pedophilia in the entire complaint appears in the middle paragraph 210. And then here's what it says, okay? Defendants Barbecue Lady and Granny's Watching engaged in a pattern of extreme and outrageous conduct directed at plaintiff Rogers. This conduct includes spreading false allegations of criminal behavior, such as accusations of pedophilia and involvement in the murder of his child, along with threats to his safety. The defendant's actions were maliciously intended to harm Rogers emotionally, damage his reputation, and derail the search for his missing son. Not only that, but they don't even allege this as defamation. They allege it as an intentional infliction of emotional distress. So it goes on to say why all of this is ridiculous and how, if that's the main basis of Lesniak's oral argument, why didn't he give more focus to it to begin with? Blah-de-da-de-da. And it's a great question to have. I mean, I have the same question. If that's the main basis, why did you not highlight it so much? So go over here and it says that the state they failed to mention, which one of the defendants said it, where the statements were made, whom the statements were made, where they were made, and when they were made. It offers no information on who may have heard the statements. It further fails to identify the statements with any degree of particularity to permit the defendants and this court to evaluate the allegations in context, which is crucial. I mean, how can we fight against something we're being accused of if we don't even know where, when, how, what? Like, we know none of that. How can we fight it? That's because it doesn't exist. So other than
Excuse me, ma'am. And with all due respect, I want to say to you, one of the two or both of you, I know I didn't hear it, so I wouldn't know. Somebody said it. You and Barbecue are the ones being accused of having said it, so you would know who, what, when, where, why, and how. You don't have to sit back here and say, how do we know? How do we know? If somebody didn't hear you say it, ma'am, they wouldn't be saying you said it, ma'am. The people on the green team and the people on Team Sebastian, to the best of my knowledge, do not lie. I've not seen a single one of them tell a lie yet. I've seen a bunch of lies come from the beautiful bluebirds. Just saying. I'm just saying, in the words of Bullhorn Betty.
the existing controversy over the missing child that plaintiffs rightly admit to themselves publicizing, the complaint offers no context for these accusations. Plaintiffs detailed their efforts to create a media frenzy around the missing child in the first 46 paragraphs of their complaint. Critically, Plaintiff Rogers, who paints himself as a victim of accusations of pedophilia and child murder, has, according to the complaint, worked with Plaintiff Dwayne Chapman, aka Dog the Bounty Hunter, to publicly accuse the child's stepfather of being involved in the child's disappearance. That's the hypocrisy part of it all that I personally can't stand, but whatever, here we are, right? So it goes down to say, the rules of how to properly fight a.
Of course, Miss Granny, who yet your kids aren't even old enough to make you a grandparent. Okay? So y'all need to really change your name, in my opinion. But I go by Get Locker. You might not like it. That's my choice because my father-in-law chose my name. And there's a story behind it. From what I've heard, there's no special story behind why you say Granny's watching. Okay, so anyway, what I'm going to say is this is the only thing you don't like? This is the only thing you don't like? Is that somebody's telling the truth about you? Excuse me?
Claim of defamation and how they fail entirely to meet them. But what I really liked is when we get all the way down to here, and it says, why their motion wouldn't survive even on like preliminary objections if the courts by chance don't decide that this is a slap. But down here, plaintiff's complaint does not merely admit that the underlying dispute over the missed child is a public controversy, it boasts about the plaintiff's role in creating the public controversy. The complaint devotes many of the first 45 paragraphs to emphasizing the very public nature of this dispute. These include publicizing the dispute through plaintiff Dwayne Chapman, aka Dog's, many live television appearances, publicly increasing the reward for information and effectively.
Excuse me? What does the fact that Dwayne, Dog the Bounty Hunter Chapman, used to have his own television program got to do with whether or not he is helping Seth Rogers find his missing son? And in my opinion, back to what we were talking about a minute ago, I totally lost my train of thought and just went with it somewhere else. But as far as Mr. Rogers suggesting that Mr. Proudfoot had something to do with the disappearance of his son, Mr. Proudfoot as much as admitted it when he stated in his own words, I believe it was on Nancy Grace, when she said, after you left to go to work, had you been back home? Yes, was his response. Yes. I can't give you exact dates because law enforcement has told me not to. But yes. And after I left on the beginning of February, I did not return home until the morning. 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 That Sebastian went missing. He admitted it right there in his own words. You can clip it. If you can't clip it, I'll find it and clip it for you, Miss Granny's watching. I'm sorry to get upset, but when you admit to something, it needs to be caught. Now, Miss Granny's watching. And that's not on the first time. He even said it to, I can't remember whether it was Chronicles of Olivia or Smiley Stories World. I'm more inclined to think it was on Smiley's. But he said he left at the beginning of February and didn't see Sebastian again until the morning he went missing. Now, one time I could figure it being a slip of the tongue, but not twice. Not twice. It's an admittance of guilt. When you say the morning he went missing, and then you say it takes 3 hours and 47 minutes from doorstep to doorstep, but you get relieved from work at 11 a.m. and you're home at 1:30. That's only 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. Not 3 hours and 47 minutes to get home. The math ain't mathin'. Mr. Proudfoot has admitted to his own guilt. Thank you for listening.
Amplifying attention on the case tenfold in a short period. Plaintiffs also admit that plaintiffs Rogers and Chapman used the publicity in significant part to accuse the missing child's stepfather of being involved in the disappearance. Essentially, the equivalent of accusing the stepfather of allegations of criminal behavior and involvement in the child's murder. So
we're not saying that the stepfather murdered him. We're saying the stepfather took part in his disappearance. The stepfather admitted to it. I just explained it to you. Can you not hear? Why'd you have to keep going, even after I explained it to you?
Plaintiff's admission that this matter is concerns of public controversy of their own creation is significant because it effectively renders the plaintiffs as public figures, or at the very least, limited purpose public figures. But we all know they're public figures because they all have YouTube channels now. They're all public figures. So as public figures, they face a far greater hurdle, blah, blah, blah. They fail to meet the actual malice standard, goes down further. But what I really like here.
But what I really like, how many things do you really like, Miss Grady?
What I really like here is this part. In recent years, particularly since 2016, pedophilia, or pedo, has evolved into a near ubiquitous insult on social media platforms. At this point, the term, particularly when deployed without corroborating facts, do not carry the same sting they did 10 years ago. As proof, this court need look no further than recent social media posts made by some of the
beauty's in the eye of the beholder, Miss Nobody's Granny's watching. If somebody calling Mr. Rogers a pedo hurt him and affected him, then yes, it had the same effect it did 10 years ago. Miss Granny. Nobody's Granny. That's who you are, Miss Nobody's Granny. Miss Nobody's Granny. it hurt him. Hi, Miss Brown-Eyed Girls. I'm over here yelling at Granny's watching. Excuse me. But I'm telling you, Miss Granny's watching, if it hurt Seth and it affected his employment and his way of life, then yes, it had the same effect as it did 10 years ago. You can't, just because some attorney gets paid to put something on a piece of paper, don't make it right.
Plaintiffs. That's right. The plaintiffs themselves had made these allegations against people. Gotta love that. So anyway, we have first off Plaintiff Hound, who says these people have no respect for little Sebastian's life. Bastards, traffickers, drug dealers, drug addicts, abusers, wife beaters, enablers, sex offenders, pedo Carl, pedo Penny, pedo Proudfoot, monsters.
They're just talking about all the beautiful Blue Jays. Just talking about all the beautiful Blue Jays. Miss Granny's watching. Doesn't she look different? I wonder why she still won't let anybody see the top of her forehead.
Then you have Plaintiff Chapman, dog bounty hunter on his social media, refers to somebody as a child pedophile. Then you got Nick, who repeatedly used the term pedo, including accusing a Nickelodeon producer of being a perverted pedo.
Now, wait a minute. Miss Nobody's Granny's watching. That guy on Nickelodeon was what he was accused of, because he tried to get with the mullet guy. Who's the guy with the mullet? The country music singer, and his daughter is a singer. She quit using the stage name and started only going. I don't know. I don't follow country music, but I remember Billy Ray Cyrus's Miley Cyrus. That's it. He tried to do something with Miley Cyrus. Now, he's a little bit old for Miss Miley Cyrus. Yes, brown-eyed girls, thank you.
Calling pedo galore at Nickelodeon Disney. And then you have Plaintiff Andrea Griffin, aka Bullhorn Betty, who used the term pedo in reference to the parents of another missing child, which would be Summer Wells in regards to her father, Don Wells.
Now, I don't know about that one. I wasn't around during the beginning of Summer Wells. I don't know about the Summer Wells case.
So the point of this is not to condone the use of the terms, but to recognize that the terms have been defined as mere insults or vituperative outbursts, which are undoubtedly offensive, but not actionable in defamation. So in conclusion,
I agree with you, Miss Brown-Eyed Girls. I believe you.
The alleged pedophile accusation appears in the middle of just one of the 350 paragraphs in the complaint. It was included as a throwaway allegation. Plaintiff Rogers fatally filed emotional distress claim. As such, it is woefully deficient of the pleading standards required for defamation plaintiffs.
She can't even talk. She can't even. Okay, lawfully, not waffly. Okay? Miss Nobody's Granny's watching. It's lawfully, not waffly.
Especially those who are public figures, such as the plaintiffs in this case. As alleged, the statement is nothing more than the type of caustic insult that many of the plaintiffs themselves use on their social media accounts. So, for those of you who are still arguing, like, oh my God, they defamed Seth Rogers. Oh my God, it's not a lawsuit. Oh my God, this is what the courts are for. Okay, and this is what attorneys are for. To put people like you, who know the very minimum, who think you know it all because you cover true crime or you looked at something online, to put all of you in your place and tell you that you were wrong. And we will continue to fight this. We will continue to clear our names, not through public opinion as they have attempted, but through the courts where it's meant to be. So thank you for coming and joining with me in this video. Please hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead.
No. Next, we are going to go to Trisha Talks.
She's like, yep. And basically, she said no, but
This is Trisha Talks, and she's replaying one of Brittany's videos. She thinks she knows it all and don't know. You're right. I agree with you. And I do hope you're talking about Nobody's Granny's Watching. I think that's who you're talking about. But from what I understand, from what I saw of this Trisha Talks, which I hadn't ever heard of her until the day before I started my research, until the day before I started my research, yeah, she doesn't, she's not really, well, let's just say she's not part of the green team. I'll put it that way.
No, yeah.
She sounds like a man.
Anyway, I was chatting, a few times she mentioned me or something like, thought I was a troll. And then
Yes, I
said,
did.
"Oh,
Hold on.
thinking about adopt."
Yes, I do. That man scares me to death. Did he do something other than switch over to, what was it, Queen Bee? That man makes me so uncomfortable. I was a mod in his chat. TJ told me he was on her panel. Who's TJ? I don't know TJ. Who's TJ at the Brown Eyed Girls? He makes me nervous. He kept wanting to call me and talk to me on the phone and all sorts of stuff and talk to me in Discord and everything else. TJ 69 or something like that. Okay, but yeah, Eddie kept wanting to talk to me on Discord and talk to me on the phone and all this stuff. And I'm sorry, I'm a married woman, and to talk to another man that my husband has no idea who I'm talking to, in my opinion, that is cheating. I don't want my husband talking to other women I don't know about. So I'm going to show my husband the same respect and not talk to other men unless it's like in a public forum. To talk in private on Discord or talk private on the phone, I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry, that's cheating. And he's going to expose someone next week, and I think expose Britt for what? She hasn't done anything wrong. I don't know what he could expose her of. Is that what he said on his live last night? Huh. Interesting. I don't know what he's going to expose her for. I don't know. He scares me, but I may have to sneak back and watch a replay.
Since she lost her mother. I think she's a lovely young lady. Oh my God, it upset her so bad. Oh, it did. It crushed her ass. I said, well, I'll be back.
Okay, I'm going to back it.
Oh my God.
I'm going to back it. Okay. I don't know why this Trisha Talks, it wants to adopt Brittany since her mom died. You know, the Michelle Johnson that comes in Britt's. No, I don't know her. I've seen the name, but I don't know who that is. Is that a good person or a bad person? He made her a mod last night? Yeah. He had made me and Nana and Reality all mods. and he made Reality a co-host on his channel and gave her full reign to be able to screen share and everything. And then he did what he did to Brittany, and he did what he did to Brittany, and he kept trying to one talk to me in private, and it made me nervous, so I just left. I wasn't gonna. You don't, in my opinion, you don't hurt somebody and then expect all the people that like that person to run over and back you up. I don't think so.
That was a few times she mentioned me or something like,
Yes, it was.
Control. And then I said, well, I was thinking about adopting her since she lost her mother. I think she's a lovely young lady. And, oh my God, it upset her so bad. Oh, it did. It crushed her ass. I said, well, I'll be back when you get some content other than Brittany. I could go on Brittany's channel and watch Brittany.
Yeah, right. Yeah, come to my channel and watch it.
March the 23rd, 2025, and it is 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. on the eastern coast of the United States. I want to talk to you guys real quick before we get into it. I just want to give you a heads up. The day after tomorrow is the date my mama died, okay? So.
Exactly. Whoever's in the second person in the bushes, if you don't want to come in and say hi, please hit the thumbs up. It helps get my algorithm out so other people can sit in the bushes too.
I'm already feeling a little bit funky already. So I'm going to try my best to stream. But with all of this going on, all the chaos, all the people coming at me, I'm literally having to go take care of something tomorrow in regards to all the stuff that's happening today. So I wanted to ask you guys to please keep me in your prayers because this is a hard month, right? And I'm struggling. I'm not gonna lie, I'm struggling. I'm struggling with the normal hustles and bustles of it being the month of my mom's birthday and the month of her.
The crazy things that are going on this platform, being constantly accused of being on substances, having.
Somebody has slowed Brittany down. They slowed down what she said. I don't like this Trisha Talks person.
I'm having people send me things through email. I'm having, just a lot of stuff is happening, and it's unwarranted. It's not deserved. I don't deserve this. I don't care what nobody says.
I agree, Miss Brittany. You don't deserve what the beautiful Blue Jays are putting upon you.
I need a minute. Sorry, guys. And you turned them.
Y'all just see him? I accidentally freaking turned my screen on. Please tell me y'all didn't see him. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. I do have to mute. Normally, I don't have to. Well, I haven't had to up until this point, really.
You're right. I agree with you. All the beautiful Blue Jays, let's say Queen Bee, barbecue, every day with Jay, Illuminati, nobody's granny's watching, Trisha Talks, Salty Lunatics, Elevated Truth, No Sense. They're all idiots. And there's more. There's more. But I didn't want to make this an 8-day video.
Worry so much about muting. So now there probably will be more frequent breaks because I have to mute when my kids come in, or if Craig comes in, I have to mute. My kids are about to go to sleep, so I won't have anything to worry about. But I just want to let you guys, I don't even know. Never mind. Never mind.
He is tomorrow, Saturday night? I'm going to want to watch that, but I'll probably have to watch it on replay because my husband's supposed to come home tomorrow, and he doesn't like me watching the true crime drama. He calls it drama. He doesn't like me watching it. So when he's home, I don't get to watch Brittany, and I don't get to watch. Pretty much Brittany's all I watch. But I do like to watch Seth because he has a lot to say. Hopefully Seth will announce that there's going to be some arrests soon.
I need y'all to pray for me because
See, Brittany wasn't saying anything against Trisha.
Okay, back up.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Rochelle. You are amazing. Savvy's aunt says 29 months, you guys. Oh, I think that's one of the biggest, the longest membership. Savvy, good with a couple. Listen, our numbers are so high. Hey, Meow.
Really? I don't think it's a cold case.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, maybe according to law enforcement it is, but according to YouTube and all the people that are out looking for him and that care about him, we're not letting it get cold.
Oh, come on, Brittany. You made a big mistake coming on camera. Look, she's falling asleep.
She is not falling asleep. You can
Oh my
slow it
God.
down.
Brittany is not asleep. She's looking at her computer.
Let me go ahead and clarify. Trisha, I know you're listening because you record every mic screen I have. I have friends and I love them dearly. So to say that I don't, just because I didn't say something to Moon at the very second she was talking about her father, she knows I love her. Oh, I don't pay no attention to that bitch.
You talk about TikTok Julie? I do not care for that woman. I did not care for her day one. I did not care for TikTok Julie.
Okay. Yep. She's so weird.
Hey, Trisha, since you think that I'm over here sipping for Brit, you can suck. Stick on this someone more, since clearly you don't get much action. Oh my Lord, I love Samantha. She's too much.
Now
Trisha needs help, you guys. I think
Brittany wasn't saying anything against Trisha. One of the people in her chat did. I'm gonna get that straight. Brittany does not put down other.
That Trisha Talks, she's the hypocrite, if you ask me. And Judy Skolnick, I call her TikTok Julie. I do not like her. Never have. She can't, in my opinion, she came in from TikTok because of the Sebastian Rogers case. People are saying it's because TikTok was closing down. She was over here 2 months before TikTok closed down for 24 hours. She did a live tonight. JC did And I guess that's where she said it. Who's JC? You talking about Judy Skolnick? But I don't know. She can't do true. No, she can't. She knows about her autistic children and what she has learned about autism through raising these two boys that she was wonderful in adopting, because she adopted them when they were small. They both have autism. She learned Jennifer Coffindaffer. Okay. Sorry, I fell the other day and I landed right over here on my side. And every time I take a deep breath in, it hurts right here because I have bruised ribs. So that's why you see me wincing. And plus my shoulder is like bruised on the inside. So I'll have to go back and watch Jennifer Coffindaffer. I do like her. In some regards, because she did work for the FBI, so she does know a lot about the law and stuff like that. But I was putting up a chain link fence because my dog kept getting out. And I was stepping over some rocks I dug out of the ground because I was burying the chain link fence and going to put concrete over it. And I was stepping over some rocks and my foot hit the garden hose and rolled. And I fell and went down and landed with a block right on here. I've got 6 bruised ribs under here. She's the one that said it's cold. Jennifer Coffindaffer said the case is cold. Well, I think Sumner County or TBI or somebody needs to get the decision made that they've got enough evidence to make a conviction stand. Yes, I went to the ER and that they did x-rays and everything and said that it's bruised ribs, and they gave me some lidocaine patches, but I have to wear them for 12 hours and take them off for 12 hours. So during the 12 hours I don't have them on, I'm in a lot of pain. So, and I'm not supposed to do anything for 2 weeks. So I'm supposed to rest it for 2 weeks. But I finished the fence and I got it cemented in. And then today I ended up having to rehome one of my 3 German Shepherds because the city said I couldn't have 3 large dogs. I said, but 2 of them are registered. And he said, that's right. And I said, the people I bought my house from had 7 large dogs. And he said, and that's why the people you bought your house from sold their house, was because they were told either they get rid of all but 2 of their dogs or they move. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, well, I don't want to move, so I'll let one of my dogs go. And the same dog, he's not a mean dog. He's a wonderful husky shepherd mix, and he's silver. But he's very loving, and his toenails are really sharp, even when we get him clipped. And he jumps up on me, and then I get to looking like this. This is all from him jumping up on me and me raising my arms up to keep him from hitting my face. So it's not out of malice. It's out of love. Hey, Reality. Hello. Okay, so we're still listening to Trisha Talks, and she's fixing to say something about Judy Skolnick.
Content creators, unless they're putting her down.
Let me back
Brittany is
up.
not asleep. She's looking at her computer.
Let me go ahead and clarify. Trisha, I know you're listening because you record every mic screen I have. And I love you dearly. So to say that I don't, just because I didn't say something to Moon at the very second she was talking about her father, she knows I love her. Oh, I don't pay no attention to that bitch, Chris. Yep. She's so weird.
Hey, Trisha, since you think that I'm over here simping for Brit? You can suck. Stick on this someone more, since clearly you don't get much action. Oh my lord, I love Samantha. She's too much.
Now see,
Trisha needs help, you guys. I think
Brittany wasn't saying anything against Trisha. One of the people in her chat did. I'm gonna get that straight. Brittany does not put down other content creators unless they're putting her down.
And I'll stand behind
She
that all
will
day.
defend herself, but she does not put down other content creators.
she thinks that she's way more important than what she actually is. Let's just come on. Nobody. Nobody.
Most of the people that are coming at me are unwarranted and unsolicited. It's a money making scheme. It's a hate campaign. I hardly call them enemies.
Don't worry about everyone. And hold on a minute. Enough enemies? When you have enemies, that means that you've got to do something to create those enemies. Brittany, sweetie, you're muted again.
I agree with both of you. I agree with both of you.
Oh, all right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. Emil just woke up. He's having a tough time. I love you guys. I appreciate it so much. Thank y'all for sticking with me. We got a lot more to get into. Okay. I'm gonna try to go through these. I need y'all to pray for me because.
See how rude that is? See what Trisha says?
Good night, Granny. Come check us out another day. Thanks for stopping by.
Now we've
Appreciate
switched
this.
over to Salty Lunatics. I was so disappointed seeing Eddie pay for membership to. Oh, I thought he went to Queen Bee's channel. I heard y'all talking about it last night, but I was kind of dozing off at the same time. So, yeah, I thought it was Queen Bee. Oh, he went over there. Okay, so you want to hang out and be close friends with somebody that doesn't know how to wash their toilet? Oh, really? I didn't become a member of anybody's channel. I was gifted a membership to, I think it was Sinner today. I'm not sure. But I was gifted a membership to somebody's channel today, and I was in Hutchinson because I had to rehome my dog, so I don't know. But let's see what Salty has to say. I know it's not very nice.
Thank you all for coming in today. I appreciate y'all coming to join and hang out and see. There's been lots of rumors. There's been lots of drama. There's been lots of shit that's been going on the streets of TikTok, on the streets of YouTube. Now, I'm not on YouTube.
Trigger warning, foul language again today.
So I don't know what's going on YouTube. I'm not,
Okay, hold on. StreamYard, which is what she's on. StreamYard streams to YouTube. She's on YouTube. And she says she goes on Queen Bee and Grady's channel. I've never heard of this salty woman. Salty lunatics. I've never heard of her until like 2 days ago. But when I looked her up to find out which team she's on, I found out she's another beautiful Blue Jay. Okay, let's go see what she has to say.
I'm not, I watch it sometimes. I hang out with Queen Bee. Just met Granny. Granny's watching. She's in the chat tonight, helping out with me to have correct sound. I appreciate you, Granny. I was just introduced to Granny's watching with this suit with Nick the Hat and Dog the Bounty Hunter on the Sebastian Rogers case. For people who might be coming who are new and don't really know what's going on, just to fill you in, part of the true crime community on TikTok. We've been following the Sebastian Rogers case for many months now at this point, and many of us have gotten to know each other online through a community. We talk about the Sebastian Rogers case as well as other cases on TikTok that revolve around the crime community. And you have your TikTok communities, and then you have your YouTube communities, and there's a lot going on with this case because people are talking about this case both on YouTube and on TikTok. But there's different circles, there's different friends groups, and there's different things that are kind of going on and being said in different dramas. You got Bullhorn Betty, working with Seth. You've got, Christopher Proudfoot, who's got his, people that he likes. Each parent doesn't like each other, and they're going at it head and head. And it seems like the parents are pitting the YouTubers and the TikTokers against each other. So that is essentially, where we're at. So, this is a crazy case. This is definitely a crazy case. There's been a lot going on from the beginning. There's been a lot of speculation on both ends, speculation that the parents are involved. And nobody really knows. Nobody really knows the truth. So, we're all just chatting on on our YouTubes and on our social medias discussing the case. And in doing so, there's been a lot of drama between different creators on these platforms. So, it started out with me. I was a fan of going on a Facebook. Facebook was where I like to go to collect a lot of my information. I was in the chat groups for Sebastian Rogers and the Missing and the Disappearing.
I agree with that, Brown Eyed Girls. And I agree with what you said as well, Reality. I do agree. I knew my mental health wouldn't fare well if I stayed with I'm gonna skip Salty. She doesn't really have a lot to say.
Lady is trouble.
Wait, who's
From
trouble?
the whole family and everybody involved. And I know if I felt that way, I gotta imagine that Sebastian felt that way. I gotta imagine that boy wanted to run away so bad.
I did.
It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And a lot of times what we do on social media is a reflection of our own inner psychology, okay? We're here on the internet doing our thing, talking our thing, but as we do, we process our own struggles, our own traumas, our own griefs, with everything we do, okay? And I know that I was a victim of parental alienation. Both my parents fought. They wanted me to pick sides, and it was very difficult from being stuck in the middle of two parents who were constantly fighting. And I know myself, I ran away many a times as a child growing up. I'm a fan.
Yeah, that's why I put her on here. Because she's trying to make it sound like Sebastian run away all the time. Now, Katie said in her own mouth, and so did Chris, that he was not an eloper. He was not a runner. Brown Eyed Girls Muscles went on Brittany's channel last night. I saw Muscles on at the end of Brittany's stream. I saw Muscles was there because I had fallen asleep, and when I woke up just as Brittany was getting off ending her live, and she was thanking Muscles for being there. So I'm gonna skip over this. Ah, yes. We are going to go to Elevated Truth.
We're all of the green team is Team Sebastian, but there are people that only focus on,
Either your Chris Proudfoot team or your could be involved. And Justin made a video and said, no, we are not going to do this. This is not going to happen. We are not going to speculate on this. And then I got upset and made a response video and basically said, everyone's allowed to think what they want. Everyone is allowed to think what they want. Nobody knows at the end of the day. We're all just speculating. And nobody has any answers. And our speculation comes from our personal experiences in our own lives and red flags that we've seen in our own lives. Okay, well, I have a stepfather who's, acts this way and behaves this way, and I see the same behavior in Chris, and so this is a red flag, et cetera, et cetera. And that's how people think.
I will say we all have our books to write, and when we become adults, we make choices and we learn from our mistakes. We are to do better. Some learn sooner while others later, and many don't ever learn. I agree with that, Reality. I wish that wasn't so long and you could make it your avatar tonight. That is just so beautiful. Brown Eyes, what time is he going live tomorrow?
And that's okay. That's how we learn and how we grow and how we share with each other different ideas. And that's all we can do. And we can all just speculate. And at the end of the day, it's up to the police and the detectives to do their job. Now, if we find anything, it's our job to give it to the police to make sure that they have, whatever we're finding as the public. They're asking us, the public, for help. They've come to us and said, we need your help. We need you to keep your eyes open. We need you to report anything suspicious. We need you to do A, B, and C. So when they ask us as the public, it's our job to step up and
Central Time, 7 Central. Say something,
right? So I'm a big
in 24 hours.
See something,
right now.
Say something. So I'm on Facebook, and things are kind of a little heated in the arena. You can see right away there's sides developing. Either your Chris Proudfoot team or your Seth team, and if you like Seth, you can't like Chris, and if you like Chris, you can't like Seth, and it goes both ways. And this has become a general consensus among the public. Okay, this is my feelings. Again, these are the opinions that I'm sharing, but my general feelings was that you had to pick one side or the other, which was extremely disturbing to me starting out with this case because
You're right. They did ask for our help, and then they said they didn't want our help anymore. And I'm with you. Why? Just got notification from Brittany. Brown Eyes about what? Is she going live? If she's going live, I'll cut my stream right here. Yes, ma'am, Reality. We are Sebastian's Army. We are the green team, and the green team and Team Sebastian are one and the same. They work hand in hand. Okay, I'm going to end my stream here because I don't want to jump on top of Brittany. And we are all members of Brittany's chat. So I'll end my stream here. And then tomorrow I'll pick up it in the middle of Salty because after this is Elevated Truth. And I've got the clip of him and Chris Proudfoot arguing with each other over the truck. The truck. Yes, green team is for his favorite color. All right. Thank y'all for being here. Do something nice for someone, even if it's just make them smile. You make me smile by being here. On the backup channel, yes. On Thoughts and Opinions with Brittany or whatever, however she said that. Okay, so good night, everybody. I'll see you over on Brittany's channel.